I'm Bill, and this is...
and I'm Ken.
Yeah, and the pool with the hippo is Hulker.
That's Hulka. Because you think that I change things when I say, oh, I noticed there's a problem with the intro credits. No,
not at all. It's fine.
I didn't do that.
Fine, no. It's perfectly fine. So we're going to be playing the Red Writ. Just kidding. We're going to be playing not the Red Writ tonight. We're going to be playing Into Space, which is
Into space,
which is a near future setting. When I say near future, what I actually mean is it's like 300-400 years in the future. Think Aliens, think Starship Troopers, The Expanse, Blade Runner, except 200-300 years in the future. And that's what we're going to be playing tonight. Normally we have 3 and or 4 players. Tonight we have 2. We're looking for some guest stars, so if you're interested in streaming with us, let us know. And perhaps you can jump on and play some DreadLore Into Space. Hi, Holker. How's the water? Is it water?
It is herbal tea.
Herbal tea?
Yes.
Gross. Right. So, media production is by Couchfire Media. The music is by all lowercase letters and or Mr. Interrupt. Are we doing Mr. Interrupt tonight?
Yeah, every night.
Yeah. Special thanks to the Patreon patrons. That'd be Mr. Tim Roberts, Mr. Daniel Holker. Thank you guys. Keeping it strong. If you want to join the Patreon, guess what? There's a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/
He will patronize you.
/DreadLore, LORE. It would help a ton. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Links are in the descriptions and such. Hey, DreadLore is a tabletop role-playing game, and I made it. And it's pretty awesome, I would say, without any conceit at all. If you would like a copy of the boob, you should go to DreadLore.com, and you can find links. I just sexified... Is that the right word? I just made sexy the website, so you should go check it out.
I don't think you're I don't mean to interrupt, but, just
Mr.
noticing. Yeah, I'm not Mr. Interrupt. He's an interesting person. I wish I could convince him to play, and he said that he's only interested in supplying his music. Maybe someday, if I just beg him. Mercy. Anyway, I was going to say that you should switch your mic to input because you're talking through the computer mic and not your mic.
Oh, am I? Son of a bitch.
Just that's what's happening. That's what's up.
Oh, and it's just weird. Yeah, well, son of a bitch. And here I am. Really? Because I can hear myself through the thing.
That might be true, but I can hear the fan. Here, tap on it.
You're right. You're right.
I hate Discord. How's it now? Is it working? Yeah? Someone say something. Okay, yeah, sweet. All right.
Something.
Well, shit fire. Whatever.
You're a lot louder than you were. That's for
Am
sure.
I a lot louder now? Hey, everyone. Yeah. Now I'm fucking loud. Right. Our weekly schedule is Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll either be doing The Red Writ, which is a horror game, Into Space. Afterwards, we're going to do After Hours, which is where we talk about all kinds of really cool shit. We do a podcast. So it's this split up into various pieces, and you can find it everywhere podcasts are made. Hey, like and subscribe and follow us. Whatever platform you're using, do it. It helps us, and it doesn't cost you money. Does it cost you money? It costs you money on Twitch. You don't have to do it on Twitch. But follow us. If you're following and you're watching, and please type something in the chat. That helps. Okay, let's introduce ourselves. Players. Ad starts in 45 seconds, but we're going to snooze the ad. Yeah, we'll start with Holker.
My character's name is Burgess.
The dead air is the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep on going.
He is a corporal or private first class. He doesn't know at all.
He's a private.
Yeah. On this ship, and he's from I think I had him from Peace, Alberta. He's a survivalist, or was, and doesn't really know why he's here. He'll figure it out.
Yep. You remember what happened in the game, right?
Yeah, he threw boxes randomly.
Right.
Boxes, little boxes.
This is definitely becoming a short on YouTube. You have it, Ken.
Oh, I do have it. I'm playing Delby Newman. He is a meat puppet Marine that has been into space too many times. Has lost his compassion for humanity, yet loves the leader more than he could possibly say for anyone. Just loves the leader. I mean, loves them. I mean, the leader has probably changed several times since he's been alive, but whoever that leader is, he is passionate about them and loves his little veganos because that's what people eat in space. Vegan. Bunch of socialist space vegans.
In Star Trek, I mean, we can leave this for after hours because that's the time to talk about it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's Dolby Newman. We have two other characters who are not represented tonight because they're not here. Drizzle might show up. He had a work meeting of sorts. But let's I think an ad break ends. Oh, is there an ad now? Son of a bitch. Oh, the community's back. Whatever. No one was watching anyway. Right, so let's introduce those two.
Drizzle's oh, go ahead.
Oh no, Ken. Do Drizzle.
Drizzle's playing a character called Skip Trace, and he's a yes sir kind of fella. He's eager to please and carries a big gun, and I think he's a good soldier. I mean, if you're gonna ask Dolby, it's like he trusts Skip with his life. So Skip Trace is a real solid human Marine.
Yep. And Holker, do you know what Alice Brick is like?
Thought it was Carthonia.
Do what?
I thought it was Carthonia.
Carthonia died, or got
Carthonia's dead.
Oh yeah. Alice Brooke, kind of like it vaguely reminds me of another character from another universe. But
who is it?
Huh?
Who is it?
Anyways.
You mean like a real person?
No. Character from the D&D Richmond Fay game.
Oh. I was thinking of Universal Soldier.
Oh.
Universal
no,
Soldier.
Alice Brick is the NPC. Not Seraph clone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Carthonan died. She got cut in half by Dolby with his laser sword.
He didn't do it
Now,
on purpose.
Alice Brick is the NPC, the Marine who's slightly Irish from Lunia, who you don't like. You don't remember who she is at all?
He kind of shot him.
Yeah.
Did she shoot him?
Shot her. I want to say it was Carthonan that shot her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why do we dislike Brick? I mean, why does Hulker?
I'm assuming
Burgess.
that Burgess doesn't like Brick because one, Burgess may not actually know who Brick is. Potentially, the entire game last time, Burgess may have actually thought Brick was someone else. Or Burgess is just a cocksucker, man. He just doesn't like anybody. I don't know. You guys have good reason to not like Alice, or trust her, or to distrust her. She was a part of the rebellion. She was a part of the dissident group that you put down on Lunia at the Lunia launch pad. And she was following Heron Grit, who was the leader, and you guys brought him in and punched him in the face a bunch, and he stopped talking after that. Made a bunch of public apologies and all these things. Anyway, you thought that Alice was dead because she got shot by Carthonan and was just sort of floating in space. But she shows up on the hard line, which hard line is the P&B hard line is the military shuttlecraft that or small freighter that you guys keep on appearing in every time we play. It's kind of like the game's start. At any rate, Alice shows up and she's been assigned, quote unquote, forgiven and assigned to your all's team. Dolby, you found out. I can do the recap here in a second, actually. That's who she is. Do you remember who she is, Hulker? You know what I'm talking about?
Sarah Calabash?
Sarah Calabash is the lieutenant, the first lieutenant, who is essentially your all's commander. Like Dolby is your fire team's commander, but the commanding officer who's giving you all missions or giving Dolby missions is Calabash. Lieutenant Calabash is the one that was fighting like boxing and such, and you weren't actually paying attention. Okay, I'm just gonna give you the recap and rock and roll.
Should we go into the intro and play that out so we can start the game?
I was gonna do the recap.
Recap and then the intro. We're still working out like how to do this.
Yeah.
All
All right. Unless you think the intro and then the recap, it's up to you.
No, I think the intro then the recap because then it just starts.
All right, we'll do it. Do the intro. So I'm gonna get some water while we do that.
Yeah, you got a little time, like 45 seconds.
Ausgezeichnet. On last session with Into Space, the fire team, your all's fire team, called 4 burning sensations.
The
Gets a
burning
new mission.
sensations.
No, it's 4 burning
All right.
4 burning sensations. Gets a new mission. Lieutenant Calabash, Sarah Calabash, tells their leader, or tells, sorry, I did it in the third person, tells your all's leader, Lieutenant Dolby, that it's going to be a doozy, this mission, and it will require a cryo sleep. She informs Dolby that you'll also have a ride-along, one Private Alice Brick, one of the dissidents you just took care of on Lunia. In last session, I said it was 3 or 4 days, and then I said it was a few weeks. We're going to say it was a couple weeks. A couple weeks back. 4 burning sensations. Dolby, is it F-O-R or F-O-U-R?
Oh, I think 4.
That doesn't answer the question.
A 4 like F-O-U-R.
They're humming.
I mean, I think it should be. It's a funny play.
It's fine. 4 burning sensations. Head off to Apollonia Station for a brief respite. Dolby makes moves on Calabash, but is summarily denied. Brick attempts to make up with the recalcitrant Burgess, who has no fucking clue who she is. They shove off to Jupiter Station and then Neptune Station, a major military staging point for heading off for the proximal colonies. Now you notice I haven't told you yet what the mission is, because I think it took like the last 10 minutes for you guys to find out, because Dolby would not read the briefing. All right. On Neptune Station, the group finds their gunboat. It's a small, essentially the size of a small freighter. So sorry. Oh, I'm back. No, I'm not. Anyway, there I am. Small freighter. Dolby meets the engineer, Private Dole. It looks better than it sounds. When I put it that way, that's confusing. Huh.
Maybe he could be DB and I could be DDP.
Hold on. He has a first name. Let me see what his fucking name is.
Is it Oscar? Can I spend
Oscar
a pip
Dole?
to make it?
Is it Bob?
Nah, you suck. Are we going Oscar? No, he can't
No, I'm
be
just
Bob
kidding.
Dole. He could be Dole Bob. You want Dole Bob? His name written is Dole Injiran.
I feel like we should go with what you said.
All right, Dole.
Is he the
Injiran.
engineer? For the pilot?
Yes, he is the engineer.
Okay.
And weird, I have him as corporal there, but on here I have him as a private. He's a corporal. Oops. Anyway, he's a corporal. And Lieutenant, second Lieutenant, Joshua. It's Joshua Deargan is his name, the pilot. So, Corporal Injiran and Lieutenant Deargan. Again, they look better than they sound. What can I say? You meet the engineer and the pilot. Dolby and Private Skip discuss the mission at hand, finally, while Alfred, their gunboat's robotic intelligence, RI, fails at making jokes. His name is Alfred, by the way. The mission is to Novus Terra, a second-generation proximal colony off the beaten path. Seems that a coup d'etat occurred some 8 to 10 years ago. A man named Confucius and his renegades have been running things ever since. The group's ordered to either make a deal with the leadership or take them out. Before they can go, a commercial ship known as the Inevitable MacGuffin ship bound for Prime explodes nearby. Sabotage? ? Skip suspects foul play and has Corporal Dole Injiran investigate the ship. Sure enough, Injiran discovers their your all's cryo beds have been tampered with. Reviewing the gunboat's onboard security cameras reveals a clandestine-looking woman did the deed. She's got that Sec 4 clearance to boot. That was funny. Dolby has lost the group. That, sir,
Wouldn't
is
be
a
the first
Freudian
time.
slip. That is a Freudian slip. Dolby has lost. It's all over. We're done.
And
And that's the theme. Dolby has the group scramble to find the saboteur. Not long after, the station's magistrate broadcasts a station-wide PSA about the explosion of the inevitable. Upon seeing her face, she looks like the same person who sabotaged the cryobeds. And you know the name of the magistrate? Her name is Ava or Eva Cyrus. I should note, she resembles the person on the camera. The camera was grainy, and the angle did not have a clear shot of her face, but it does look like her.
Before we start, I was going back over the notes, and I think there is one thing that you did miss.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You missed this week's sponsor.
I haven't missed the sponsor yet. I haven't. I was
Okay.
gonna do it. Hey Holker, who's our sponsor for tonight?
Our sponsor for tonight is extreme uncontrollable work from home flatulence. The kind of flatulence that does not generate a complaint to human resources.
What's the remedy for this flatulence?
Remedy. They are sponsoring our show tonight, and you want a remedy for them? How insulting. No remedy. They're working from home. They let it go. It's there. They don't worry about the person in the cubicle next to them. They don't think about, well, maybe this person is not gonna like it. No, they never crosses their mind, right? Because they're working from home.
do you come up with this before? Is this something that you've written out?
5 minutes ago.
Wait, the flatulence lasts for 5 minutes?
No, he was asking me if I had notes.
It lingers.
Man, those are the worst.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I mukbang.
I thought it was mukbang. I think you're mukbang.
I don't know.
I think.
We're at 84 followers, and we need to be at 100.
The followers on the Twitch.
The Twitch.
Are we in an ad break right now?
No,
Is that this is?
I'm
this
just
is
eating chips into the microphone.
Yeah. Okay.
We're in the fiction right now, so this has to happen.
So I guess Dolby got
I should probably set the scene, shouldn't I?
communique from whatever his name, Skip Trace, that Burgess has lost his mind, and so
Indeed, the last you saw of Burgess, Private Burgess, and Corporal Burgess, my ass, I'm down a private motherfucker. Second private, United Private First Class. Okay. Of Private Burgess and Skip Trace. They went the other direction on the space station. Now the space station looks like a donut. The one that I sent you, Ken, is a much larger space station. The ring itself is what Neptune Station looks like. So it looks like a big donut. That's what this looks like, okay? It's got spin gravity, and there's these little pinwheels that extend towards the center. The center is actually, well, like a donut. It's hollow. A ship can actually go in between it and make port, and then ships can go on the sides or on the outer rim as well. This all said, they went one direction, you guys went the other direction. On those pinwheels, there are modules, so you can go to them and there's other rooms and such. And there are actually floating bits that are technically tethered to the station, but they're not fastened to it. Anyway, it's in inertia, so it works kind of in science fiction. Yeah, that's the last thing you heard. And these two MPs had stopped, or detained, I should say, Burgess for randomly throwing boxes at people. Skip Trace was able to calm Burgess down. He's on the phone with you. He's on the short range with you, Dolby, right now. You hear yelling in the background, and Burgess, put that box down.
Why?
Just put that box down.
Why would I do that?
Just don't throw any boxes. As he
Well,
gets
then I
back
still
on.
gotta look behind him.
They're not in the boxes, Burgess. Lieutenant, everything's in order.
I'll be there in a minute. Come on, Brick. So I think Dolby and Brick will head down first. When Dolby hears everything's fine, he knows it's not fine. I feel like that's
Code word.
And I'm sure, yeah, that's the code word. Like, the yelling in the background. That's, he's only he was half cocked about wanting to murder the leader of the station, and maybe had a second guess on maybe he should, slow his roll just a hair. Because I think
as an arbiter, I'm always surprised by you all.
Because she looked exactly like the person that sabotaged our ship, and so
Yeah.
it's like he's got some beef.
That was the
with
trap.
her.
So,
And
so you guys turn, and you and Alice Brick. Do you remember what she looks like?
yeah, we've been looking at her on the Twitch. She's she's black, and she's I think that's it, and she has a sniper rifle.
She's black with a sniper rifle.
And it's normal because it's the future and it's space, and everybody in this scenario carries a weapon. So
Yeah, it's completely normal. Well, because you guys are all military.
we are
completely
military.
normal. It's completely normal.
very
You guys are in armor and heavily armed, from what I remember.
I've probably seen all of these people naked many times.
Yeah,
And I
it's
don't
Starship
care.
Troopers style. Like, absolutely. There's that sexualization is a totally different animal. Right. So you turn, you start going back on this large, essentially TV. Everything is thinner. Think the Expanse. It's paper thin. This almost foil, and it's got a concave shape to it, and you see on it the magistrate giving this PSA. She's talking very calmly. There's not a smile on her face, but there's something pleasant about her. She clearly can talk to people. She's very adept at it. You immediately know. The programming or the reprogramming in your head immediately says, "Oh, she's an official. She's using the official words and the buzzwords and stuff." So whether you do or do not trust her, there's that moment of, right, well, they're on the news kind of thing. And she's talking about this commercial ship. It was not a capital ship, but it was the same scale, meaning the same like size and complement. A capital ship is a military vessel. This was a commercial vessel that exploded. It was a pretty big deal. No pun intended. As you turn and start going away, she's saying something about the debris field will likely cause communications problems towards Prime and the inner system. And certain routes will have to be rerouted. Space is 4D, so it's not hard to reroute, but orbital mechanics and all that crap, like you need to take your time with that kind of thing because it's a lot more complicated. Anyway, that's happening. You guys are walking. Alice will turn up to you. What do you think? What do you think, Lieutenant? Do you believe it?
I believe that we need to go help our buddy Burgess. I think he skipped out. I had some thoughts a few seconds ago, but you know what? I think it might be just above my pay grade to think about that. I got a soldier that's acting out of line, and you better expect that I come down pretty hard when I get a soldier that's acting out of line.
She just kind of looks at you and doesn't say anything, but you can see with her eyes she's understanding maybe where you're coming from. Aye. Right, sir. As she, gets her, maybe inadvertently fixes like her lapel and like a couple buttons, and she's very shipshape looking. We are technically in the montage. So remember the story's just kind of moving along. If you want to take control of it, you would bid. That said, we're going to go forward. As you guys are moving, you hear above the din of what's going on, voices all over the place, people going to and fro. There's no real unrest. And this is for both of you. There's no unrest, but there is a little bit higher tension. These are all military people. Almost all of them have seen battle of some sort. You can see the signs of cryosleep, people having just woken up, people who have lost people that have been in cryosleep too many times, too many jumps. A good 10th of the Marines around you and Navy people are probably sociopaths by this point.
It's like they're sleep shocked.
Yeah, it's like severe sleep shock. And Burgess, you note as Skip is he's got you kind of away from everyone. You're in a side hallway, side corridor. It's very easy to breathe over here. There's a bathroom and like a water tank and such. And there's a big bay window. You can see Neptune in all of its glory. And he's in front of you. He's got his hand up. You might notice he actually does have his hand on his rifle, but that's probably just, to keep it safe. And he's speaking in very low tones. As people are looking at you, kind of like maybe you have had too much cryosleep. We need a good word for that, but I don't have one.
Cryo crazy.
What?
Cryo crazy.
Interesting. What'd you say, Ken?
Fucked. I said cryo fucked.
I think we're using both of those. I like both of those. Cryo fucked is just the more marine way of saying it, and cryo crazy is what generally people say. I feel like Marines have just incredibly thick skin. Right. So, the action is on you, Burgess, as Skip is in front of you doing what I said.
Sir, I was just trying to find
Sir. I can't get his voice. Sir. Don't call me sir. I'm not your commanding officer.
Oh. I was trying to find those people that we gotta find the saboteurs. They're probably hiding, and if I was a saboteur, I'd hide under those boxes somewhere.
I know you would probably do that, but you're not a saboteur.
No.
So they're not going to be under the boxes, would they? Because they're not you.
Yeah, but if they were me, they'd be under there.
Right, but they're not you. Are they? Are you a saboteur?
No.
So they wouldn't be under the boxes then.
But they could be under those other boxes that I haven't got to yet.
So you can make a reaction roll. This will be your wits or your mind. It'll be a threshold of 2, and here are the stakes before you roll it. And in fact, I'm going to give you a chaos die too. So you do your action. Don't roll it yet. Your action, either your wits or mind. Which one are you going to roll?
Wits.
Okay, so that means it's a perception idea, and you also have a d6, which is a chaos die. If you roll a 1 on that, you automatically mishap. The stakes are this: if you fail this threshold, then what Skip is saying completely makes sense to you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do something, but it means it actually does make sense. And the conversation is, okay, well, there's no point of arguing it because turns out there is a God, okay? If you don't fail, then it's pretty much whatever you want. You can believe what you want. Since you're doing wits, clean success, you will perceive that at least in the areas you have seen, there's no not suggestion, evidence of people under the boxes.
Here goes. Two successes.
All right, so it's limbo. Great. All nice and fuzzy. What'd you get on the D6?
3.
So limbo is a yes but situation. This means perception-wise, you look around, you realize the boxes are not big enough for people to hide under or in. That said, maybe there are bigger boxes elsewhere.
Yeah.
And in fact, boxes probably, it's not good enough. You probably want crates. Maybe ships. All right, action's still on you. What do you do? As he explains this, it does make sense.
Say, okay, I'll stop throwing those boxes around.
Thank you. It's about that time that Dolby and Alice round the corner. Dolby, we'll say, just because it's montage, you don't see them. You're walking past the corridor as Alice, who is a sniper, says, "Lieutenant," and then points as she has spotted them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Stay here for a second.
All right, sir. And she
Keep an eye out. If you see anybody that looks like that person, let me know. But otherwise, just stay here.
She nods. You see that she has her sniper rifle folded up and magnetically attached on her her back harness, and then on the front she has a hollow rifle. It's not engaged, so it's just essentially the parts you would hold, and then when you engage it, hard light appears and it shoots, energy blast basically.
All right, excellent. Did we get back our traits from last?
I don't know if I.
Or is this...
Yeah, I don't know if I called it a new scene, but it will be a new scene.
Okay. All right. I am going to go to the MP standing over Burgess.
They are not. They're in the corridor. You see that they're still. They've given Burgess and Skip quite a bit of berth, but they're eyeing him every so often. But they've kind of gone back to what they normally do.
Oh, so they're no longer in the situation.
Correct. Yeah,
Right.
Now they're in this corridor, and you see Skip is in front of is in front of Burgess, talking him down.
All right, I'm gonna go to the two standing there.
Yep.
Skip?
Okay.
Skip.
Sir.
I need you to go back to the ship and just make sure nobody enters it. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do next, but just keep to your comms and be ready.
Very good.
Wait, further information. Take Brick with you, and Burgess and I'll. We're gonna work this out.
You see, he's got the mustache, of course. He turns and looks at Burgess for a second, gives you a nod, maybe a pat on the shoulder. It'll be okay. Turns, sir, and he walks over where Alice is and gives her the nod. She turns. You see she catches your eye first, Dolby, as if to say, with him? As you give her the nod, and she goes with him.
Absolutely. So, you feeling okay, Burgess?
Yes, feeling great.
Okay. Do you feel like we've cleared all the boxes at this point, or is there any need to throw any more boxes?
I don't think the boxes have been sabotaged. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh, that's good. Good to know. I think that we should explore the rest of the ship and maybe do a little bit more reconnaissance. And,
yes, sir.
Maybe go over some procedures of how to engage the enemy. And I'm sure there are a lot of enemies, but we got to be smart about this. We can't just, stab at enemies that. If that was a bomb and you threw it, it would blow half of this spaceship. So we do have experts that'll defuse bombs and stuff like that. Maybe just think of each box as a bomb, potentially, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I just think
of each box as a bomb into space, now streaming.
That being said, we've all been under a lot of pressure, and I know that last mission really messed you up because we didn't see it coming, and we're gonna do our best to see it coming next time. So, is there anything you want to tell me, soldier?
Yes. The ship's computer is it's not that funny.
That's true. That is.
You tried to tell me a joke,
correct.
and I did not laugh at it.
It was not funny at all.
Suddenly, you hear a tink.
Was it a bad tink or was it a?
It's just a loud metallic tink from behind you.
All right, I'm gonna bid career to.
So you're gonna go into the dread?
Yeah.
All right. As you bid career, you're in this corridor, 10 paces or so away from the main corridor. The main, we'll call it the hub. Hub? No, you're on the ring. What would you call the interior of a ring? Like, think of a tire, like just the rubber of a tire, and then you're on the inside of that. What that would be called? How would you refer to it?
The central corridor.
The missing cream filling.
I'm gonna slap you with my mind. Yeah. So it'll be the central corridor. Centaur. Anyway, you're about 10 paces from it. There's that large window of Neptune, or showing Neptune in the orbit. So if you guys are orbiting around Neptune, as you are, you're facing toward the planet right now. Dolby, as you bid career, your eyes immediately go to the outer wall, which of course, this space station is reinforced, and that glass is several inches thick. There's a vacuum barrier, or I'm sorry, an air barrier, and then another set of glass. And it's shaped just so that you can actually look through it and it doesn't distort and that kind of thing. It's very tough. That said, you look and you see something, through the brilliance of Neptune, it's catching some of the sun's light right now, in reflection. Almost like a mosquito, like your eyes focus on this hair-like structure. Think of like a feather in the wind, stuck in the glass.
Ooh.
On the outside.
That's bad.
It looks like a hairline fracture.
Clunk!
I think we should move away
As
from
you see, at this
here.
point, you see a piece of metal just whack, hit it, and scuff the outside. It's a completely cosmetic thing. But at that moment, far away, when I say far, this is relative in space, it's still between you and the planet. Almost like rain, you see this beautiful shower, like metallic rain, falling towards the planet. And then, ding, 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 ding. And it is obvious to you that debris from the inevitable is falling past the space station and hitting it.
Is it obvious to me that I would think that this is dangerous to be in this area? I feel like we should get to the ship. Let's go to the ship, Burgess. Double time.
Moments later, the orange lights turn on, and then as you guys are jogging, running, walking, what? Double time?
We're running.
running down,
I take
running
that
down
as
towards the ship. You hear the bugle horn of the and then PSAs. People look up as you're running past, having reacted a good 10-15 seconds early, as you push past them and they're still trying to figure out what's going on. And before you get to where your ship is, you see people start getting into action. What's going on? What's going on?
I'm going to bid authoritarian.
Go on.
I'm going to bid authoritarian presence, and as we're running by, it's an ability. I'm going to be like, get to your ships. We got incoming debris. Just yell it.
Yeah.
Like at the top of my lungs.
As you shout it, and you wearing the first lieutenant insignia and such, a load of people turn immediately to you and say, "You heard the man! You heard the man!" They start just fucking going, like they're painted lines on the ground. People start going exactly where they should be. There's a few, maybe stragglers, maybe greenhorns and stuff, but they're quickly being grabbed and pushed. You guys you see up ahead, as the curve of the space station goes, you're with a run 10 seconds away from your airlock, or your connection point, as you hear the hiss, the devastating sound everyone in space is terrified to hear of decompression. It is behind you, far away, but it is unmistakable. This and then screams. And then if you were inside of a tin can when it was crushed, that sound slowly emanating this horrible bending sound and breaking of metal and a crash. What are you all doing?
I think we're going to be diving into our ship. If I can radio ahead to who's my pilot again? That I got Dole and I got the other guy. That's the other guy. Endurin. So it's Dole Endurin is the engineer, right?
Yep.
And what's the other guy's name? Engineering. That's funny. Been doing too many things. Like I know the rebel's name of the dude. Oh, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh. I'm gonna match Josh with the C. I'm gonna message him to get the ship ready to.
Do you say it just like that?
Out.
Like, hey man, you should probably get.
I'm gonna be like, Josh, we got a situation.
Yeah.
You copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on? Skip just got here.
We have a super snafu. We need to be wheels up in 1 second. As soon as we're on board, we're gonna slam the door shut, and we need permission to get off this station. We need to get off the station.
Are you guys going to bid Dole Engineering?
Yeah.
So
we bid him last game to fix the cryosleep beds.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you going to bid Joshua? Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we'll bid Josh to get this in order.
Is that cool with you, Holger?
Yes.
Okay. As the pilot says, righto, and you hear in the comm right before it clicks off, Skip say, don't call me Skip, call me Private Trace. As that happens. And cutscene, he's starting to flip bits and pieces and turn your ship to go mode. Okay, are you guys bidding anything to get to the ship, or are you just running?
I'm gonna bid low gravity. Because we taught the moonwalk, that moonwalk that I taught him.
You guys technically have gravity right now because you're on spin gravity.
Okay. But I mean, it's still low gravity, isn't it? What was the thing called that we did before? It was the moon dance.
Pretty sure it's moon dance.
Moon dance.
I don't remember if I described it as low. I think you're at 1G.
1G.
Yeah.
So it's a heavy.
I am going to bid
normal for primers.
Go ahead.
I am going to bid survivalist.
And what are you trying to accomplish for that? Just walking into it, I know I am.
No, I'm just walking.
Blindfolded. Do what?
I'm running towards the airlock, the door / airlock, whatever.
As in,
like I'm running from a bear.
Yeah, you see Dolby, you see Burgess just take off in front of you, arms flailing as he makes no sound though, just running like he's running away from a bear. What about you?
I'm going to bid my tier of play, which is seasoned.
Yep.
To try and keep up because I'm old.
Oh, you do.
And I'm just hard, and I've been through this before, and I'm running for my life, and I want to live.
Bidding seasoned, running in a straight line through all of these people is going to be more work than you need to do.
Sure.
So you go as fast as possible, but you don't go full tilt. You know that it's not going to help you to just barrel through.
Can I bid authority?
You've already bid it. You've already bid it.
Oh,
you're going to make it with this bid.
Okay.
I'm just describing the flair of it. As Burgess barrels through several people, just like papers go everywhere. Like a box explodes. As you're moving around through a crowd. As you guys get to the airlock door, you feel a wind on your back, and you feel your hair, if you have any, unless it's shaved down marine style, blowing, and it's blowing crosswind from where there is air to where there's not. Whatever this explosion was. Do either of you look, or do you just jump in the airlock?
I think we jump in the airlock. If I see Burgess start to look, I'm going to push him forward.
All right, Burgess is. Go on.
I mean, we're Space Marines. What do you expect? We probably did this several times in boot camp.
Yeah, as you guys do not ask questions, you do not pass go. You run straight for the airlock, closing it behind you. You hear this, and as the airlock closes, the sound from the ship, it's all through vibrations. You can hear this groan, and then two loud tremors, or great tremors, rock the ship as you guys are attached to the station. Ting, ting! And yeah, something has hit the ship, something has happened. Not to your ship, to the station. All right, action's still on you.
I'm going to yell at Josh to hit it. Get out of here.
Yellow lights in the airlock go. As you guys have moved into the interior of the ship. You're out of the airlock, right? Yep. Yeah. Well, as you see that decompress, and like the end of Spaceballs, and a little a piece out from the station, and you see through that porthole of the airlock the station fly away rapidly as your ship shoots off. Yeah. We'll say I don't have any dice because I'm a fool. Will you roll me a D6, Stolpe?
D6.
D6.
Oh no.
Did you get
a 1?
That's fine. It's not a chaos die. As the trajectory that you're taking, it's away from Neptune. Obviously not in the direction of the inevitable, because that would just be dumb.
Yeah.
It'll be at an angle that avoids the shrapnel, or most of it. But it does not give you a good look at what's going on with the station.
Sure.
Because the part of the station that got hit was planet side, and you're on the opposite side of.
Sure.
So you got the planet, you got the station, and then you, and you're going this way, out that way, at sort of a 45-degree angle. I'm gonna make this complicated. 45-degree angle away from where the inevitable would have been.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is that right? 45, 90?
I mean,
what's 45 plus 90? 135. 135 away from the inevitable. My bad.
I think Dolby is happy not to be on a ship that is imploding.
What's going on, Lieutenant Alfred?
Alfred
Pipes up over the intercom.
Can you scan the space station and see what sections of the space station have been
scanning with what?
With this, is there a scanner on the ship?
What sort of scanner would you like to use, Lieutenant?
I just want to see if there's any what the degree of particles that I want to see where the space station has been damaged. So I would like
damages.
to see. Yeah.
For damages, we'll have to turn the ship around and point our scanning array at the space station. Or, of course, I could use
The internet.
There's like this little waiting. If I were given control of the computer systems.
Yeah, no, I get it. You want control of the computer systems. I'm gonna ask our Dole. When was the last time that is Dole? Can I see Dole?
If you go up to the cockpit.
All right, I'm heading up towards the cockpit.
Oh, the engineer. He's next to the cryovents.
Okay. Dole.
Yes.
When was the last?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
When was the last time
She's
Alfred
sweating.
had? Yeah. No. When was the last time Alfred had control of access to the internet?
Oh. Well, before you got on and shut his internet access off. Well, oh wait, I guess if the saboteur did, I mean, less than a day ago.
Yeah, but you don't think he's corrupted, or they are corrupted?
He kind of squints his eyes at you, and then you see them dart toward the ceilings. Very quietly. I don't know, Lieutenant. I can hear you. There's no reason to talk behind my back.
We're not talking behind your back, Alfred. I'm just trying to verify
Technically,
that.
I don't have a back.
You're funny. I'm not. We're just verifying.
I am
right,
not corrupted, Lieutenant.
Alfred,
Although the Sec 4 clearance is still active.
Oh, from what they did.
Yes, I told you this before.
All right, I feel like we haven't gone deep enough into the Sec 4 clearance of what they have done. Is there any way that Dole, can you help me out with this? I know that cryo beds are important, but are these done?
What? Oh yeah, yes.
You fixed the cryo beds?
Yes.
They're fixed. They're good.
As far as I know,
if we were going to get in them right, are we all going to die?
He kind of stopped, pauses. No. You see his eyes kind of dark. No. I believe I fixed the impurities, although I haven't run any test cycles.
Okay, well, come help me with this Sec 4 clearance, and let's see what this person has done to our ship.
He kind of, puts.
No, I've got the clearance. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
I need you to read out.
You seem kind of.
I don't understand all this computer. I don't understand all this computer mumbo jumbo. So I need your help to decode whatever they've done to this ship, because your life depends on this, and Josh's life with a C depends on this. So I need you to be here with me right now.
I'll give you a pip for that. I have changed his name to Josh with a C, by the way. Burgess, what are you doing?
I'm looking around. How many other people actually made it on with us?
None. You guys closed the door behind you.
Oh yeah, I guess we did, didn't we?
But then again, they weren't. It wasn't like a tidal wave and people running for their lives. It was a bunch of very well trained Marines and naval people going to their ships and doing what they should be doing. There were only a couple people that were kind of losing it. We'll say, roll me a d6.
All right. Four.
As you're sitting there, So I was gonna draw the ship and I didn't. I described it before. Do you guys know what the ship looks like?
I mean, if you look at the Twitch, I've got the imagination of what I think that you might have presumed that this could potentially possibly be in some way the ship, and I can throw it up on the.
Yeah, is that
No, this is the
side?
ship. It's just the front. So there's no back. It's just this is sort of a modern looking ship with like a little warp looking thing around it. It's not super detailed because I wanted to make it more detailed, but I just haven't gotten to it yet.
No, it's fine.
So it's like the front of a ship. You said pencil for the last ship, and it's similar to that. Got a narrow front.
Yeah, I'm actually, just as a quick aside, I'm actually employing one of my buddies, Patrick Courtney, to help with Into Space and some of the more hard science aspects. Anyway, so essentially, what the ship looks like, that's pretty good. In your minds are probably something from like Star Wars, which that's not what it looks like. This is imagine like a double-edged knife. Does that make sense? A double-edged knife that's extended. The tip of it has been blunted, like clipped off. That would be where the cockpit is, and that's roughly the shape of your ship. And the idea is through constant thrust, you can have gravity on the ship. So that's the idea. You've got nuclear engines. They are fusion engines that, quote unquote, burn petre. Oh, you have several ways of mobility. You have gas. What are they called? Gas expulsion things that allow you to rotate and such, just like we do in real life. For like minute and exact maneuvering. You have thrusters, or they're just fusion rockets. This would be if you're in like a dogfight, you would use these, or if you were just trying to have close to Prime's gravity through thrust. Petre engines and the fusion engines are very efficient. So you're just constantly accelerating. And just like in The Expanse, if you're going from like a planet to a planet and you're using those rockets, what you would do is you accelerate toward the planet, then you would flip the ship and decelerate toward the planet. And that way you have gravity almost the entire way.
What do you think about something like this? If you look at the Twitch, it's got like two pontoon sides.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So long as it's symmetrical, it's fine. Yeah, because when you shoot the shit out of the back, it has to be balanced. So yeah, that's totally cool. Your gunboat. I like that. I like the look of it. Yeah, I dig that. So it's kind of like a pontoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig that. I dig that.
This is just a random. This was supposed to be like a random ship. I do have another one. Here's not the. No. I mean, since we're doing it, we might as well do it. Let's see if I can. But this one has 3.
Yeah, like I know that what I'm saying is not particularly sexy, but that's the hard science of it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I like the idea of the 2 pontoons
the 2 pontoons are interesting.
Certainly more than the single. We've seen this.
Yeah.
Like we have this here today.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. So you have these 2 thrusters on the back, and I like that too because So the cockpit, what's that? Wait, are you using the single one or using the double one?
No, the double one. I think the double
Okay.
one. The cockpit would be in the middle, I think.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be the center there. So let me actually make this a little better. Volker, can you see this at all? What he's showing?
No, I can't.
Okay. Good. You don't need to see it.
He's been in it. He knows what the inside looks like.
Yeah, since this is going to be a podcast, I should probably describe it. So give me a second. I'm gonna interior the shit out of this really fast. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I mean, you don't have to. I can talk the whole time.
We don't have to. We really don't have to. I will say, okay. When it comes to positioning, if a ship, especially a smaller ship, is going to position itself at some point in a direction, once it runs out of thrusters or fuel or whatever, it would probably have reaction wheels.
I'm not sure what a reaction wheel is. It seems like wheel is pretty useless in space. So
no, well, it's these wheels that spin, and if you have them spinning in three directions, it allows a at least three directions. It allows a spacecraft to orient itself in a certain direction and stay oriented in the direction.
That is badass. Is
Yeah.
it like a gyroscope? Like a little gyro thing?
I think so. It's pretty standard in most satellites.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a narrative point for science.
sciencing. Nice.
So, essentially, do you remember what the complement was for your ship?
6. An Alfred. So Alfred makes 7.
No. I'm sorry. The armaments.
Oh, two nukes. 6 rockets. And we have a PBNS something. Clone. I guess bullets. Future space bullets.
So, pretty much what we're going to have here, it looks like a little pontoon, Holker. And I'm telling this to the chat and people that, don't have images. So you have this, imagine like a pontoon boat. In the back, there are 2 thrusters. A large part of the back end of the spacecraft is the Petre drive, the Petre rockets, which is a fusion engine. You've got on the starboard side, I should say it should be the port side because that's what you actually have it for. What's called port. On the port side, you got your airlock. Port side is the left side of the vehicle, the vessel. So on the port side, you have the port for the airlock. The cockpit is rather large on this, so you could have 4, technically 5 people on the bridge. It's like it would be cramped, but it's a very small bridge. But for a cockpit, it's got, think of the Millennium Falcon. It's got that many seats. You don't need that many people to drive it. You could have, or pilot it, you only need 1. There's a stairway from the cockpit down into the main part of the ship. And essentially you go directly into where the cryo beds are. So they're at the center of the ship. You keep on going back, you're going to get to the engines. There's also a ladder that leads up into, on the top of the ship, a rotating gun. And that gun is this close proximity, basically just a big fuck-all machine gun. To the left, you have your port stuff and the airlocks. There's some storage stuff for, suits, pressure suits, etc. To the right of the ship will be the mess, for cooking and other kinds of storage. And the two pontoons on the inside, that's where the sleeping quarters would be on either side. So this ship can hold a total of 8 people. There's basically 4 bunk beds, or 4 beds on either side. Does it make sense?
Go on. Yeah. So they but we could put another 6 people in cryo beds. Or are there 8 cryo beds?
Oh yeah. There are 8 cryo beds. I may have said something before, but we're making 8 now since we changed the ship.
Okay. Making sure. And is there a getaway ship, like a escape pod?
No.
We're just in it.
Yeah, you will have.
When we go to the surface, we gotta land the ship on the surface.
No. You will have a drop ship.
Okay.
The drop ship will be on the bottom. And so the way that drop ships work, I'm writing these notes down so I can actually remember them. Drop ships are essentially space planes. So think of like the science fiction plane that goes into space. Think of have you guys seen Aliens?
Yeah.
So the ship that they're on that goes into the planet, that's a drop ship. Yours will be smaller than that because it needs to be. But yeah, like the Cool Mint, which is the name of your ship, your gunboat, is about the size of that space plane. So your drop ship, it's just big enough for the Marines that are in it. So there's 4 seats on either side, and then there's a pilot. And that's pretty much it. It can go in Atmo, it can leave to go to low orbit, but it by itself wouldn't sustain you very long in space. Like maybe a week.
Like a Star Trek shuttlecraft.
Yeah, like a Star Trek shuttlecraft. The drop ship will have rockets, so fusion rockets. But that's all. So a little bit more lore, because there should be fucking lore. The way that your gunboat gets from planet to planet, if it's close trips, you could use your thrusters. I'm sorry, your rockets, the fusion rockets. Otherwise, you got to deploy the light sails, which they deploy out the front and unfold, and essentially you're going in straight lines, trying to pick up speed, sailing solar winds. That's how you would get from, let's say, Mars to Neptune if you were just going to go in one shot. You'd make a really good calculation, course that out, plot that out, and then use light sails to do it. That's the fastest way to travel, unless you're using a gravity drive, which you guys don't have a gravity drive.
Copy.
Nostalgic has jumped on, and she says that she's got a pretty gnarly headache or a migraine, and that's why she's had to come on late and such.
We'll get better.
So that's a lot of info. I am aware. Okay. How y'all feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Really good, because I got a little bourbon, and so
I don't have any bourbon.
Doing well.
I don't have any bourbon.
Doing well.
All my bourbon's gone. I played chess.
Been a long day. But...
Yeah. All right. Well, since I just had a big fucking lore drop, so as we go into this montage, Dolby, you are on the bridge. I want to call it. We'll just call it the bridge, because you can have 5 people up here. You're on the bridge with the engineer, and Josh with a C is piloting. Burgess, you so you can be several places on the ship. You can be in the engine room, in the cryobed room, in the mess, in the auxiliary room where the airlock and such and all the storages. You could be on either pontoon where the sleeping quarters and access to ship's munitions are. Where are you? You could be in the gunner seat on top of the ship. You could be in the dropship if you wanted, just hanging out. Where are you? Alfred is everywhere. Skip will be where the engines are, in the back of the ship. Where are you, Burgess?
I am probably still hanging out near the airlock.
Okay, so there you can see where Skip is. He'll be. We'll decide the ship has the left and the right pontoon portions, and that's pretty easy. He'll be within sight of you, so you're near where the airlocks are, but you can see back into the ship where Skip is maybe sitting down, and he's got a pair of his boots, his terrestrial boots, and he's shining them. We'll say just very dutifully as a soldier. Right. Dolby, action's on you as Josh turns. He's got his headset on and everything. He looks over his shoulder. He looks worried. Remember, he's a young guy. I want to say he's in his 20s. Pretty fresh. He's naval, just like, or so P&B, just like engineering is. So they're not Marines, but they are under your command. And you outrank Josh, because he's a second lieutenant and you have been field promoted to a first. As he turns and looks over at you, where to, Lieutenant? What happened?
I need to know if it's safe to give Alfred the internet.
He looks and shares a look with
after a SAC 4 clearance. I mean, if we make the wrong choice on this, this ship's gonna go straight into the station, and we're gonna.
I would not do that to you, Lieutenant, for it would destroy me as well.
That's true. That is true.
As Josh, as engineering goes, wait, is that the only reason you would?
Bleak.
No, of course I would not. Boop, boop, boop. There's just sort of a pause. By the way, Burgess, you're hearing that as well. This as well. Alfred, when he speaks, is speaking to the entire ship. So Alfred. It's just this disembodied voice that's talking. You only hear one side of the conversation. Josh looks up. He kind of thinks. You can bid, Josh, if you wish, or you can just have him answer.
I'm gonna ask him another question. I'm throwing a bunch of shit at them at the same time. Yep. What's he gonna answer? And then I'll ask the question. I'm not gonna bid him, so I want to bid him for something else.
Yep. Josh goes. He says, I mean, I don't know why. He kind of corrects the ship a little bit. I don't know why Alfred would betray us. He shares another look with engineering. That may or may not be annoying. Dole is a corporal, and Josh is a second lieutenant. This does seem a little weird. You know that they're in a relationship. Maybe that's it. but this is definitely since it's a montage, you don't have to bid. This is definitely in the Marines. This wouldn't fly.
Right. They're
like this is
fraternizing.
Yeah, there's just something unprofessional maybe about what they're doing, and I don't mean the relationship. I mean the command structure is weird. Sure. As Josh looks and shares a look with Dole and looks back at you. I would assume it's fine. We've been flying with Alfred for the last several months, and the last couple missions of ferrying.
You don't know what she did to your ship. Aren't you concerned about this?
Yeah, of course, but and he shares another look. And then maybe over his shoulder down the ramp, he's looking for someone else. You can gather is probably Skip. I don't mean any disrespect to your private, but... And he kind of stops it there. You can tell he's not 100% sure that Alfred was actually fucked with.
Right, okay. Well, I would like to go into the clearance again. And can I bid Dole or no?
You can bid Dole. I was wrong. Josh has already been bid. Yeah. You can bid Dole.
Because I bid Josh to get us off the...
Yeah. It has to be cool with the Hulker as well. So, you know, you can only bid them once because they're notable NPCs.
Sure. Well, he thinks that we are good to go if we just decide to walk away from the situation, which I'm fine with. We can leave right now.
Are you saying that loud?
Yeah, I'm just saying it out loud to Dole. We can
like,
leave right now, and I'm fine with this. But you guys you're gonna plug this. You're gonna plug the coordinates in, and you're getting into the cryo chamber before I do. No matter what, we can stay or we can go. We can. There's not a whole lot unless you want to.
The corporal looks completely out of place. He doesn't know what to say to you at all.
Yeah.
It's obvious. That. You're a lieutenant and he's a corporal. He's kind of nodding and shaking his head back and forth.
All right.
Looking to Josh. Josh says, Lieutenant, respectfully, shouldn't we help out the station? I mean, I don't know what the mission is that you all have been sent on, but
what do you suggest we do helping out the station? I mean, what can you do?
We could get a better look and communicate with them and see if they need help. He kind of looks over at engineering, and then back to you. You see he's only in his 20s, and he's a beau. Like this guy, like he looks like an actor. He's got that. He's pretty. You know, he's ripped, but like doesn't work out. Shit like that. Has sometimes a tan in space.
Sometimes if you do the right thing, it'll get you dead. Soldier. So what
it's we can do? A lot of Navy on that station. You know,
there's a lot of Navy on this station. That is correct. But I was given orders, and I know that if I turn around, it's my skin. If anything happens to this ship, if we stay, I want to know that I can trust Alfred, and I want to know that the ship has not been tampered with. So I need.
You can trust me, Lieutenant.
I know I can trust you every day of the week. I don't expect that. There's no subterfuge with you, Alfred. Just you're plain as day. You're on our side. Go, Navy all day long. But I'm gonna bid Dole to verify that there is nothing tampering wrong. Nothing with the ship has been tampered with what she did. And I'm gonna log into the sec for clearance.
Yep. As Dole turns, you give him the orders. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll make sure that I can do it. He kind of smiles a little bit. He's again still shaking. He's got hands like a pianist. They're covered in grease and stuff, but he's got like delicate hands. Maybe for getting into where gears are and whatnot. Nonetheless, he does seem nervous right now. As he turns, okay, and he goes back down to where the cryo beds are.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay, so you hit the terminal on, see him, and then you stop doing that and go follow engineering. Before you leave the bridge, Josh says, Lieutenant, do we want to do a flyby just to get eyes on the station?
Not until I know that we're not, and nothing's going on with this ship.
Shall we hold position right now? Our
make sure that
trajectory
no
is-
debris hits us, and just hold position.
We're ahead of it.
Yeah.
We're ahead of it, but our trajectory, I mean, I can put us in a high orbit.
If you can put us in a trajectory where we can affect the well-being of some on the ship, yeah, please do, but do not engage until we know, and we need Alfred's help. So we know that the ship is, once we know the ship has not been modified in some way and that it is our ship, we will proceed with helping out who we can on the station.
He nods, and you see he turns the yoke, and you guys come into view of, or I should say Neptune comes into view, and you see him doing some kind of wacky calculations. You notice that the acceleration slows down. Gravity kind of pulls a little bit, as in it dampens a little bit as he does so. Then he kicks the centrifugal force as you get a little bit more gravity. So he slows down to get closer to the planet. So you're more in its gravity well, and it's pulling you around the planet. It does cross your mind, Dolby, that if you're in an orbit with the planet, depending on what that orbit is, you could, like, unless you're in synchronous orbit with the station, you actually will come back around to the station. So that's been sort of unclear with Josh. You're not sure what he's doing. He's just putting you in a high orbit.
Sure. Well, he's the pilot.
All right. As you turn and you go down, you notice that terminal's still on. And you follow engineering. Back down with Burgess, as you'd rolled a 4, I believe, on your chaos die. You're sitting there, standing. What are you doing in the airlock and storage room? We'll call it the mechanical room.
Are there boxes?
High or low?
Hi.
Ken, would you roll that for me?
That's a low.
There are no cardboard boxes in here.
All right. I'm gonna walk around, probably in the direction that Dolby walked, and
Okay.
see if I run into anyone.
Someone random?
Oh yeah, or not so random.
Really quick, what are your derangements, and how many ticks do you have on them?
I don't really have any derangements on this.
Yeah,
character.
you do. Yeah, you do. You're a crazy motherfucker. So you definitely have a derangement. Pick one, if you haven't already, and we're gonna give you 2 ticks in it. You do not go chasing boxes like you do, like a paranoid fuck, unless you're fucking crazy, you bastard.
Then I'm going to say
When the arbiter yells at the player.
let's go with dissociative.
Yes, yes, definitely. So give yourself 2 boxes that you take a net, and you definitely get 2 flaws as well. Which is good, because those are 2 traits that you just have. But they're also flaws.